which is to say it's not simple, it's not always happy, but growing writers can and must be done beautifully, even the hardest parts, especially the hardest parts. And that's what we're here to make happen, is some of that beautiful yet difficult growth that goes into really accessing who you are as a writer and what that means for you, which will mean being open to new ways of doing old things, learning to revise yourself and your ambitions, which will happen time and time again as you pursue your thesis, and is sort of what goes along with any kind of graduate level work. Trusting that you cannot really know what it is that you are learning to know when you write, which is more than the knowing of it. So really, invention, pragmatism, and an entrepreneurial mindset, finding those while we have this time and space together and we have these distinguished and expert mentors here, so you can translate a passion for writing into a profession of writing. So like athletes, and I always like to use the challenge of the athlete, not just because I like to jump, but because the brain is a muscle, and you do need to train it. So together, I like to think that our challenge is to fail better and fail faster. You can indeed fail faster than previous generations. We have an amazing array of opportunities, a lot of information, a lot of tools, all kinds of options and choices that were not available to, even really myself when I was going through my MFA, and you might agree as well, Colleen. It's a brave new world, and the key is taking, I believe, the right amount of risk, mixing it with passion and courage, and going for it again and again and again. Close your eyes. Set your intention for the first day of the rest of your life as a creative writer. I mean it. Set your intention. Don't set a silly, superficial intention. Make it good. Make it worthwhile. Where I'm writing from. 2010 was a glorious, sultry summer. I had just finished my PhD, or I was about to finish my PhD. I was writer-in-residence at the Jack Kerouac House in Orlando, Florida. Because I was falling in love with the painter, I was writing a tarot novel. I had a folding bike, a MacBook Air, a cat named Dirt, 50 pounds of personal belongings, and for the first time since I embarked on graduate studies, I was free to write or not, to read all of Agatha Christie's romance novels, to tour South Florida in a Burgundy 83 economy van, to collage poetry from Better Homes and Gardens and Playboys, and to build a writing nest, which in its first incarnation involved a few throw pillows, some potted plants, a set of Elvis magnets, a clay owl, some superhero figurines, a photograph of the writer as a sunburnt divorcee with a snapping turtle, and the Morgan Greer Tarot. Now it's 2013, and I have an office with a nameplate and a cat named Dirt who wishes I was home more often. I live in the Cascade Mountains, and it's winter, or it's about to be winter, and as I prepare for these long months of hibernation, I find myself compelled to nest. This time around, I'm thinking Christmas lights and/or orchids, a Japanese screen with tigers, a cut glass vase with a single yellow rose, a mailbox in the shape of a shoe, a houseplant an orangutan could get lost in. The world is doomed, they say. Screw that tonight. Out just beyond the ponderosa pines, November is mowing the Caldera, and I am thinking about spontaneous inner space, and I am full of inspiration, and hope too. Don't forget hope. This is where I'm writing from, in Central Oregon, in the town formerly known as Farewell Bend, in a nest called Spontaneous Inner Space, when fall is darkening the window, the one Hart Crane wrote about in Fear, the window on which licks the night. It's 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in my head. It's horrible, and I am afraid, but I keep coming back because I know it must be done. Because beauty should be menacing and slightly out of control. That's what makes it so beautiful. Because we do need to be startled back into life, transmuted and disturbed. Because there is still value in the writer's ability to, as Emily Dickinson puts it, believe and disbelieve 100 times an hour. First Friday field trip to find your nest here at Caldera Arts, where you will believe and disbelieve 100 times an hour, where you can fumble around in the dark, cherishing that mysterious, difficult process we call creation, where you can suck some honey from this passing world and turn it into art. What's your spontaneous inner space? I mean it. Where are you riding from these next 10 glorious days? How will you make the most of the gift of time and space and the freedom? No, more than that, the permission to live the writing life. So, you've got 45 minutes to filter around, find, name, and inhabit your personal writing nest. And please make sure you document it in some way, which might just